Hello, everyone. My name is Camilla, and I have one problem. I call her annoying mom. Yes, you heard right. You want to know why? I mean, I understand that I'm not the only one who faced overprotection as a kid, but the truth, with me, my mother crossed all boundaries. I'll tell you the whole story. Don't get me wrong. My mom is a great woman. She's smart, patient, but sometimes a little too caring. As far as I can remember, she never had any friends and only had me. I suppose that could be why she directed all her attention towards me. Oh, right. I forgot to mention my father. As long as I can remember, he was never in my life. He and my mom split up when I was little, so I can't even remember his face. Occasionally, I'd ask about him, but my mom immediately starts to freak out, so this topic is off limits in our house. And so we basically lived together my entire life. My mom owns a small pizzeria near our home and is quite good at running the business. Thanks to her, we never went hungry. Sometimes after classes, I'd even go down there to help her with business. And that's what I never understood, that despite her business, she still found time to call me 100 times a day. Sometimes, because of her constant calling, the teacher took my phone away. I came home mad and tried to tell her that she couldn't call me during class, but all she did was smile and joke. "I'm just worried about you, dear," she said. I was so tired of hearing this phrase, but every time I asked her to stop, she ended up doing it even more. At first glance, it may seem like nothing, and that all mothers are naturally worried and therefore need to know where their kids are and what they're up to. But is it possible to go overboard and start violating personal boundaries? Have you ever seen this happen? By the way, nowadays teens should know about this stuff, because our mothers would definitely not share their knowledge on it. And now, the older I get, the more boring my life got. My mom actually liked it, and even made me a personal schedule. Get up in the morning, get ready, breakfast, school, lessons, dance club, home, cleaning, homework, and a book before bed and lights out. And so, it was like that every day. Nowadays, without seeing friends or walks, my whole world was a schedule, and I finally got sick of it. Sooner or later, everyone crashes. We don't run on electricity. Despite the fact that I already got used to living this way, the teenage rebel inside me broke out. And one day, straying away from the rules, I met a boy. His name was Rick. He became my fresh start, the start of my new life. Basically, all I did was not do what I was supposed to, and this led me to him. It went like this. At first, I didn't get up for my alarm as usual. I was never late for school. However, that morning, I was really tired from doing a history assignment the previous night. And it made me so angry that I wasted so much time studying that I just turned off my alarm and slept in. I woke up about 3 hours later, and it was already lunch. I put on my skinny jeans, the ones that I used to only wear to the grocery store. But Mom wanted me to wear traditional style. She always considered the restrained look more tasteful, but I never liked it. I ate lunch and then went for a walk. Yes, walking outside on a Wednesday, on a weekday. I never expected to do this. And whilst I was sitting at the park, eating junk food, washing it down with sugary soda, Rick came up to me. The first thing he said was, "You can't possibly be from this earth. You looked way too happy for someone to just eat a burger and soda." I smiled. I wanted to answer, but a piece of cucumber fell out of my mouth. We laughed, and then he went to take a bite out of my burger. Before, this behavior would make me suspicious. But not that day. It was special. Because I decided. And that's how we met. Rick was that bad boy. He was the opposite of what my mom wanted, and that made me like him even more. Maybe I wanted to meet a guy like him on purpose, as a way to rebel. And soon after, we started dating. 1 week. 1 week is all it took for me to ride on his bike without a helmet, get a fox tattoo on my leg, wear skinny jeans more, skip classes, not do homework, and in general become a different me. Of course, my mom immediately noticed this change. She liked consistency. She hates it when something unexpected happens. Can you imagine what she'd think when it wasn't the business that she couldn't control, but her own daughter? At first, she quietly watched me, didn't say anything. And then they called her from school, told her about my absences, and asked if everything was okay back home. Thanks to my excellent past academic reputation, the principal and staff turned a blind eye to my absences, naively believing that I was just sick or something. My mom knew about this, and so she lied and said that we just had urgent family matters. This happened multiple times, and the third time, she waited at the door with a stern face and asked where I was. She saw Rick, or rather, how I said goodbye to him, saw our kiss and his bike. My mom was furious. She had never screamed so much. "You skip school and you go with a hooligan type on a bike. Have you tried drugs? Did you steal something? Tell me, she shouted. I didn't intend to make my mom so angry. I just wanted to take a break from all the close attention and control I got before. I told her to calm down. I tried to explain to her how controlling she was, but she didn't want to listen. And then she called my boyfriend a stupid criminal and left. You know what? What disappointed me more wasn't her outrage, but the fact that she really believed that I'd go out with a stupid criminal. Does she really not trust me? I guess maybe you also thought that my boyfriend was a typical dumb biker. It's shocking how many horrible opinions a person can have about someone else without having met them. Rick was braver than me, did not like rules, loved speed and beautiful art on his body, but he would never break the law. You surprised? Rick was actually a well-read guy, adored French literature, read Maupassant, and often retold me my favorite works. His parents teach history and literature and aren't against their son riding a bike, which he bought himself, having earned the money during summer holidays. The more I got to know him, the more I fell in love. I tried to explain this to my mother, but she didn't even want to listen. With tears in my eyes, I told Rick about everything and he offered me an idea. It was crazy, but I liked the rebellious approach. On that same evening, in an attempt to reconcile, I invited my mom for dinner at a cafe. Mom agreed. I put on my skinny jeans, for which she was displeased, but not for long. We got there and she ordered herself a fish, and then asked for steamed vegetables and cutlets for me. Steak, please, I interrupted her. Meat is bad at night, my mother told me, and I told her I wanted to have a delicious dinner, that's all. I understand that you love me, and that's why you worry, but I wanted to tell you that I love you no less. It seems to me that over the years I have earned a good reputation, especially at school, but I don't understand why you still don't trust me. I told her how I felt. I explained to my mom that my apparent rebellion lately is just an experiment. I wanted to experience other aspects of life, and that there isn't anything wrong with that. And then my mother mentioned Rick, saying that he was a negative influence on me. Suddenly, Rick appeared from behind Mom and asked to sit down at the table. This is all his idea. He knew that you couldn't convince my mom through words, so he suggested that I take my mom with us on our dates so that she could see us together, what we were actually like and what we talked about. Mom felt embarrassed, but then Rick carefully began to bring up topics for conversations with her, and it was working. Half an hour later, the three of us were talking, laughing loudly and joking. The evening was a success. I saw it in my mother's face. When we got home, my mother said that the evening wasn't bad. Then I invited her to our next date. Believe it or not, she agreed. Then the three of us met around 7 or 8 times, and each time my mother's opinion changed for the better. She didn't control the same way she did before. Didn't check my diary, my clothes, phone. She actually learned to respect my boundaries for that. And for that, I was so grateful. And that's it, guys. As it turns out, sometimes, in order to get a little closer to adults, we should trust each other more. That's all. What do you think? What would you do if you were me? If you liked the video, then leave a like and comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe.